451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG, 0208 8878 Dear Christopher, I was looking through some old photos last night, which made me sad. And then I came across a photo of you playing with the train set that we bought for you a couple of Christmases ago. And that made me happy because it was one of those really good times we had together. Do you remember? And you played with it all day and you refused to go to bed at night because you were still playing with it. And we told you about train timetables and you made a train timetable and you made the train run on time. And there was a little wooden station too, and we showed you how people who wanted to get on the train would go to the station and buy a ticket and get on the train. And you played with it for weeks and weeks. I like remembering that a lot. You haven't written me back yet, so I know that you're probably still angry with me. I'm sorry, Christopher, but I still love you and I hope you don't stay angry with me forever, and I would love it if you were able to write me a letter. I think of you all the time. Lots of love. Your mum. Judy is the mother of an autistic boy named Christopher. 2 years after her disappearance, he manages to stumble across letters that she had written to him explaining why she went away. From The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Simon Stevens. 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG, 0208 8878 Dear Christopher, I said that I wanted to explain to you why I went away when I had the time to do it properly. Well, now I have lots of time. So I'm sitting on the sofa with this letter and the radio on, and I'm going to try and explain. I was not a very good mother, Christopher. Maybe if things had been different, maybe if you'd been different, I might have been better at it, but that's just the way things turned out. Yeah, I'm not like your father. Your father, he's a much more patient person. You know, he just gets on with things, and if things upset him, he doesn't let it show. But that's not the way I am. Do you remember once when we were shopping in town together and we went into Bintles and it was really crowded and we had to get a Christmas present for Grandma, and you were frightened because of all the people in the shop, so you crouched down and you put your hands over your ears and you were in the way of everyone, so I got cross because I don't like shopping at Christmas either. And I told you to behave, and I tried to pick you up and move you, but you shouted and you knocked those mixes off the shelf, and there was this big crash and everyone turned around to see what was going on, and there was boxes and bits of string and bits of ball on the floor, and everyone was staring. And I saw that you had wet yourself, and I was so cross. But you wouldn't let me touch you, so we had to just wait till you stopped screaming. And I remember that night I just cried and cried and cried. And your father, he's quite nice about it at first. I mean, he made you supper and he put you to bed and he said that these things happen and that it would be okay. But I said that I couldn't take it anymore. And eventually he got really cross with me and he told me I was being stupid and I should pull myself together, and I hit him, which was wrong. But I was so upset. We had a lot of arguments like that. And eventually we just stopped talking altogether because we knew it would end in an argument. And I felt really lonely. And that was when I started spending lots of time with Raja. And I know you might not be able to understand this, but I wanted to try and explain so that you knew. Raja and I, we hung out together, and then we realized that we were in love with one another. But I said that I couldn't leave you, and he's really quite sad about it, but he understood that you were really important to me. And I remember I got cross and I threw the food across the room, which I know I shouldn't have done. And you grabbed the chopping board and you threw it, and it hit my foot and broke my toes. And afterward at home, your father and I, we had a huge argument, and I couldn't walk properly for a month. Do you remember? And your father had to look after you. And I remember looking at the two of you and seeing how different you were with him. Much calmer. And it made me so sad because it was like he didn't need me at all. Then I realized it'd be better off if I wasn't living in the house anymore, and Roger asked me to come with him, and so I said yes. And I meant to say goodbye, but when I rang your father, he said I could. He was really angry. He said I couldn't talk to you and I didn't know what to do. He said I was being selfish and to never set my foot inside the house again, and so I haven't. I wonder if you can understand this. I know it would be hard for you. I thought I was doing what was best for all of us. I hope it is. Christopher, I never meant to hurt you. I used to have dreams that everything would get better. Do you remember? You said you wanted to be an astronaut. Well, I had dreams that you were an astronaut, and I saw you on television, and I thought, that's my son. I wonder what it is you want to be now. Has it changed? Are you still doing maths? I hope you are. Loads and loads of love. Mother.